Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another day of our daily Devos. I'm super excited to jump into the Word with you today. I want to talk about something that stood out to Jesus, something that pleased Jesus, something that caught Jesus' attention, and that one thing was faith. I'm reminded of this story in Matthew chapter 8 where a Roman officer comes to Jesus and his servant is sick, and he asks Jesus to heal his servant, and Jesus says, okay, I'll come and heal him. And the Roman officer has such great faith, and he says, no, you don't even have to come. You can say the word right where you are, and he will be healed. And this is Jesus' response in Matthew chapter 8, verse 10. When Jesus heard this, he was amazed. Turning to those who were following him, he said, I tell you the truth, I haven't seen faith like this in all of Israel. You can see how that Roman officer's faith pleased and stood out to Jesus, and I'm super encouraged by that. And I'm reminded of a time when my family and we were out on vacation, and we went on this deep sea fishing charter, and we made the mistake of not checking the weather the day before we went. So we get there, and the weather, it looks okay, but it looks like it's gonna storm a little bit. So we get on the boat and we drive basically into the storm, and we get to the other side of the storm, and we begin fishing. We're having a great time. Family's catching all kinds of fish. I caught the biggest fish of the day. I'll brag on myself a little bit. Caught the biggest fish of the day, a massive grouper. And then that storm caught back up to us. And it wasn't just a regular storm. It was bad. I mean, raining really hard, thunder, lightning. The boat is rocking like it almost felt like the boat was gonna tip over. And I just remember being just genuinely afraid, just knowing that I didn't have control over what happened, and just really being in fear. And if I'm being honest, there have been moments of this coronavirus thing that I've been a little afraid, if I'm being honest. And I know that that's not where God's called me to stay, and I know that God's called me to be in faith, but I'm reminded of a story where Jesus, he's on the boat in the middle of a storm. He's sleeping. He has that much faith in God that he's sleeping in the middle of the storm. And his disciples, they come to him and they say, we're going to die. We're going to drown in this storm. And Jesus, he gets up, and this is his response. This is what he says in Matthew chapter 9, verse 26. He says, why are you afraid? You have so little faith. He says, you have so little faith. Why are you afraid? And the next thing that Jesus does is he gets up, and then he rebukes the storm, and the winds die down, and the waters die down, and the storm calms, and everything stops. And then the Bible says that the disciples were amazed. And here's my challenge for you. What if our faith moments didn't only happen after a miracle, but they happened in the middle of the process, in the middle of the storm, in the middle of the coronavirus, in the middle of everything that's been going on? What if our faith moments happened right there, where we don't exactly know how God's going to use this, or how long we're going to be in isolation, or how long any of this will last, but we know who is in control, and we know who has his hand of protection all over us. We may not know how, but we know who. And faith says that I'm choosing to believe. I'm choosing to trust God, and you can rest in the middle of the storm when you have faith. So I'm super glad that you guys tuned in to another day of our daily Devos. Remember, stay in faith, not in fear. We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in.